Hey everybody, good morning. Welcome to the Marnie Morning Show. Here we are again, and I'm super excited because I have my friend and my client Singh here with me. It really should be called the Singh Show today because I think he's gonna blow our minds with some really interesting topics and some interesting things. Singh certainly has a unique way of helping leaders and executives really transform and ascend into their best selves. And so I'm excited to talk to Singh today. But Singh, I'll let you introduce yourself. Hit us with who you are and what you do.
Thank you, Marnie. Appreciate you having me on the show today. So I started the Sing Power Up Coach platform. It's a training designed exclusively for high performing leaders who want to get beyond the struggle that they have on a day to day basis in their life. It's designed in a way that it looks irrespective of where they're coming from, irrespective of their background. It's a holistic program that we have architected so it can propel them beyond what their current experience is.
Yeah.
It can be newly promoted people who want to go beyond their current imagination, or it can be people who want to grow their team to next 3 to 5 years and where they want to ascend in their expertise.
Yeah.
So it's a multitude of things, but we are focusing mainly on leaders. And again, I just want to be clear when we talk about leaders,
Tell me about that.
yeah. So leadership, the way we define, is not a position; it's a mindset.
Oh,
Uh,
nice.
so we are not limiting to saying that it is a
Oh,
CXO or a general manager or something like that. Anybody who thinks like a leader, who wants to be a leader and wants to lead the company or
yeah.
a team or a community.
Yeah.
So we work with a lot of different sets of people who wants to have that mindset of leading.
Yeah. Okay. So, but tell me this thing. So you said helping people evolve past their challenge. So, I know from running my own company and being on teams, is it unique to kind of a corporate type of environment? Do you mean those types of challenges, or are we talking personal emotional struggles, dealing with anxiety? So it's kind of a big thing. So let's hone in on it a little bit. What are exactly some of the challenges that you work on with leaders?
Awesome question. So the way we have architected the framework, again, it's coming from my own personal experience of 25 years in this field. There are four pillars of this platform. The first one is goal setting. You need to know what you want to do in your life, right? The
Okay.
second pillar is purpose, is progress. And the
Okay.
progress framework really is individual where they're coming from. I mentioned that we are looking at, irrespective of what experience and exposure people have had, we try to look at the person holistically.
Yes.
Then third framework is expected. That's where we look at the entire team. Who are you working with? Now,
Right.
that's where we go beyond you being a corporate executive or you are an entrepreneur or solopreneur, right?
Uh-huh.
If you have the leader mindset, we work with you to get you to the next level,
Okay.
irrespective of where you come from. And then the fourth one is flywheel strategy, where you, whether being an individual or you being a team, we help you to build the 3 to 5 year strategy.
Okay.
So
Oh,
the
okay. Cool.
the unique thing that we have done in this whole thing is we have brought in the latest science of learning, which says two big things. The true transformation in learning happens when you add in the micro learning. So all of our courses is 3 to 5 minute video designed in a way that you can take a nugget and implement immediately in your life,
Got it. Okay. So
right?
your course is built that way. It's little tiny bite-sized pieces.
Exactly. The second piece, which is very critical, and you can go to Mind Valley, you can go to any of the courses which actually is propelling and actually is beneficial and transformational, is what kind of altered state of mind you are introducing in your coaching, right? So when we are doing coaching, the biggest thing that we have implemented, and that's what took us so much energy and time to build out the course, is that we have introduced mindfulness
Yes.
in every single step of our program,
Yes.
and to be able to alter that state of mind in real time in coaching. So
Okay.
when we are having that coaching, you actually incorporate that within you in that conversation, and there is no way that you will not realize the benefit of that immediately.
Yeah. I know so many teams out there, my team included, that need this kind of cohesive coaching. Because this is my opinion, I'm not a therapist, but just from observation and observing teams and families, the way we are interacting with people, we're bringing so much of our old patterns and mindsets to it that unless we have a certain level of awareness about what our patterns are and how we're operating, we're still going to participate in these old patterns, right? Even in a team corporate type of environment. So,
And
I mean, first of all, do you agree with that statement? And second of all, how does your product or how does your service really address that? Because a team is just a cohesive structure that's kind of like a family.
absolutely.
So talk a little bit about that.
So that's the fundamental reason why we had to architect a new model altogether. And that's a big piece.
Yeah.
Day before yesterday, I was talking to a venture capital company, working with them to help them orchestrate something for their entire portfolio, right? About 15 companies there. And that's what I was trying to explain. The for last 25 years, all the different models out there, all the different books out there, all the
Yeah.
different trainings out there is nothing wrong with them, right? I'm not saying that anything is wrong with all of those are very valid, right? They all are very important. The
Yeah.
fundamental difference that we bring and why we are seeing such a huge success with the teams in the corporate environment or with the mid-sized companies especially is two fundamental reasons.
Okay.
When you have to, the question that you asked, right? When you bring people together,
Yes.
every individual has a different personality, every individual has a different growing exposure, experience, knowledge, everything else, right?
Different framework,
Yeah.
different viewpoint on
Right.
life.
So if you look at the first framework that we architected, Progress, it has got 8 different pieces to it: purpose, reflection, organization, resilience, grit, self-empowerment, right? And then it goes into support and ongoing reflection helps you to then learn. Now, if you just push your entire team just to focus on resilience, if you push your entire team just to focus on grit, if you not
Yeah.
everybody needs that same,
Uh-huh.
not
Yeah.
every problem is a nail and not every solution is a hammer.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have 3 people in the team, in the leadership team, or 10 people in the leadership team, how can you very quickly bring everybody at the same level,
Okay.
right?
So
That's
how do you address everyone's nuances with one program? That's
that's where we bring in that progress model and say, okay, in first week itself, we evaluate everybody and say, okay, who needs to be very quickly coached in the next 3 sessions so we can bring everybody at par with that individually. That's the
oh wow.
individual,
Okay. So
right?
there's a lot of individual coaching in some of these corporate packages that you have.
Right, right.
Okay.
Then we have the group coaching, which is peptid. Now, the beauty of peptid is passion and energy in attraction. That's the first one. And
Well,
that's kind of
define for us again what peptid is.
so peptid is the framework that we put. That's the second framework that we have architected. That's more for bringing the culture and the team together. So the
Culture and
progress
team
framework
together.
is
Okay.
for individuals. Progress framework is to solve the nuances and growing individuals, bring everybody at par individually. The peptid framework then we created to how do we bring the team together, and this was a challenge that I, as growing up in the different organization,
Yeah.
building teams, I always had that, right? I have to grow every individual, but then I also have to build a team and I have to fly at the same speed every time. So
Uh-huh.
how do I do that? And that's where all this
Wow.
experience
Gotcha.
orchestrated into that. So the first one is passion and energy in attraction. How can I cultivate the right level of passion and energy that attracts all different people together?
Yes.
If you have 3 or 4 or 5 different people at different levels of passion and energy, they are not going to attract each other. They are not going to talk to each other. As an executive, as a leader, you have to understand very clearly and plan according to what is the cycle of your business. So,
Mhm.
what does it mean? Simply, if you are a successful individual, you have to, and this is a critical problem in our society today. People are so hung up on digital devices that
Yeah.
at the night time when they are supposed to close their eyes, they are focusing so much on that blue light that their chemical in their body is not helping them to sleep properly. Next day morning, they're not energized,
Yes.
right, to live a proper life. The same thing is happening in our companies, it's happening in our professional life, where the typical cycle when you should be preparing for the next trajectory of the sunrise of your business, the
Yep.
sunrise of the cycle, right? And the companies who are successful, I have worked in corporations, right, where, okay, the quarter ended. Now, next 2, 3 weeks, everybody gets to relax, everybody gets to charge back,
Yes.
right? Those teams, those companies are very, very, very successful.
Because they're paying attention to the cycle, their own personal cycles, being more aware, self-aware of their own personal cycles, and then seeing that reflected in everything that they see, including life and business and corporations, etc. It's a really
Those
amazing reminder that I feel like we are missing. So this is an important conversation.
and those are the times when you have your people take vacations. Those are the time when you have your people take training. Those are the times when you have your events,
Yes.
right? So you're not freaking out that you don't have planning. You don't have planning because you don't have realization, you don't have understanding of what your cycle of business is.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
So
good.
going back to peptid, the second, and that is second part of peptid, empathy and professionalism.
Say it again.
Empathy and professionalism,
Yeah.
right? That's
Empathy, professionalism. Got it.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you have the right passion and energy to be able to attract the right people together, and you bring empathy and professionalism in your conversation, what you do is at that point, you're making every conversation transformational. And I've been working with you for about a few months now, right? Three months, at least a quarter, right?
Yeah.
If I'm in a conversation, it has to be transformational,
Mm-hmm.
right? If I'm not being a part of a transformational conversation, if it is not moving a needle, why I'm
Yes,
wasting your time?
exactly.
The fundamental thing as leaders, and that's why I said leadership is not about position, it's about mindset. If
Mm,
you sat down with a person, no matter who it is, no matter who it is, that transformation does not mean that you change trajectory of that person for life, right? Did you make that interaction delightful? That's the D of it.
yeah, I like that. Did you make that transaction delightful? Well, I know that you've been doing a lot in the news lately. You've been asked to be on a lot of podcasts and interviews and TV. So what do you think has fueled your success in this moment?
I would not say it's a success. I would say it's a good start, and I hope it continues. Not for me, but for the purpose. The silent struggle of stress and apprehension of leaders has become a mental health issue.
Yes, the silent struggle. Well, I think we can all relate to that because many of us will struggle with our anxiety, our fears, in silence. And
Mhm.
so it's these kinds of conversations where two people, two professionals are talking, and we're talking honestly about the own struggle that we go through in order to help other people realize that it's a normal part of being human, and it's a normal part of being on a team, and it's okay to ask for help. You don't have to have it all together. Want to just give us a little bit about, like, what are your coaching programs, what do they look like, who's eligible for them? Just give us a quick overview of what your services are, your products and services.
So we have three very simple categories. So one is you can simply go and enroll for a monthly program individually. There is weekly sessions that I'm on. We do a weekly coaching for groups. Then people who want more intense one-on-one sessions, we have programs for that. We call it mentorship program. It's typically 8 to 12 weeks mentorship program. We the first session is one-on-one. We come up with an 8 to 12 week plan, and then we go up on that plan for 12 weeks and figure out what is the best route forward. What exactly do you want to get? The third program where I have been very gung ho, and I think you and I have had this conversation multiple times in the last few weeks, is the leadership development program that I have had some success with some of the larger corporations and venture capital
Right.
firms, where we are curating a complete program for their leadership teams.
Okay, so you have the one-on-one coaching, you have the leadership development. Do you have a membership?
So the membership program is the monthly one I mentioned before, that you
Okay.
can go online and there's a full digital library on there. We continue to evolve the digital library based on the new programs that people request. So
You've been very interesting and delightful, and it's always wonderful seeing you. I'm so grateful that you came into my world. I feel so lucky and blessed to have you in my life. And thank you for all the wonderful wisdom and the interesting perspective that you give to my audience and to all of your clients as well. So we'll say goodbye to our audience here, but you stay on because I just want to say goodbye to you. Everyone, that's it for now. We love you. Thanks for joining us. Bye.